Thanks to the support as a channel member, Mark G1701. Well, folks, I guarantee when you started this video up, you didn't expect me to try and sell you Christmas decorations. Yet here we are. This is the world we live in. We've got loads of really cool little Christmas tree decorations. With Born and Home shirts. There's the home away shirt from last season. We've got the Born ones there, a Cerner Jackie 16 shirt, or the front of the Born shirt from last year's YouTube series. We've got a home shirt with Mick Powell on the back, a number 17 Gomez Born away shirt. I mean, I have got loads of these. There's a link to buy them down in the description below. I've actually got a discount code for them as well. Use discount code LOLLUJO. It'll get you 10% off site-wide on the site that makes these Oak Dean designs. They don't just do Born and Home ones, but they've teamed up with us to do the Born and Home ones and give you the discount code. But the best part of these, and the reason I don't feel too guilty talking to you about them in a YouTube video, is that I'm not making any money off of these. Every penny of profit that these Home and Born themed Christmas tree decorations make is going to be donated to the National Autistic Society. So by buying one, you not only get a cool little piece of YouTube merch that you can put on your Christmas tree, because that's what everybody wants, but you are supporting a good cause as well. And also, with this big pile I've got here, expect to see a few giveaways happening, probably over on Twitch. So you might want to head over onto the Twitch channel tonight and see how you can get involved in maybe getting a couple of those posted out to you. Buy them. They are really cool. I've actually got some on my tree. Hello and welcome to part 7 of Non-Lethal Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in the National League North, and we're at home against both Farsley and Hereford. Since you were last with me, we've continued to not lose a lot, or not lose at all, because we haven't played Gateshead. We're still drawing almost as many games as we're winning, but thankfully this league is a little bit forgiving, and even with 12 draws, we've drawn 12, won 19 this season. We're still managing to be top of the league. And as a Peterborough United fan, after what happened in the FA Cup last night, or like 2 hours ago as I record this, it's never been more important to make sure that we finish above Chorley in this league. So I wanted to win promotion and go up automatically before. Now I need to exercise some demons against Chorley. If you're watching this in the future, look it up. I imagine someone would have written it down somewhere, and I'll never hear the end of it now. But since you were last with me, I already said that. I'm still sad about the football. I can't cope. I've had to put on a dark suit to compensate. No more light-coloured suits. I should have got a black tie on. But we have had the Premier League youth player release message. You know, we get that message pop up that says all these young players have been released. I offered all of them a trial because I figured that came up in my inbox. That's okay within my rules. I've been alerted as to their availability. Offered them all trials. And as you can see, there's a big bunch of them that we're looking to bring in permanently in the summer. It does mean that as it stands at the moment, our committed spending for next season is over £8,000 on a budget that's expected to be 7.25, which isn't ideal, but there's obviously going to be some players leaving, and fingers crossed if we get promoted, we'll also get a little bit of a bump in our wage budget as well. But there's some decent players coming in. Hopefully coming in. There's only one that's confirmed. In fact, I'll only show you the one that's confirmed. We'll show the others as and when they're confirmed. But this is Teddy Davey, and we obviously don't have all of his attributes. Thank goodness Kev doesn't work on attributes too much. The important thing is he's a central midfielder with 5-star potential. That works for me. He's at Southampton currently, and he's just one of many. I mean, look at the calibre of teams that we could potentially be signing players from here. Arsenal, Norwich, Wolves, Man United, Southampton, even Spurs. 2 players from Spurs. Can you believe it? Shall we... does that committed spending? That must include all these ones that I've offered, or else I am panicking a little bit. I did get to the point where I wasn't able to offer any more contracts. So this is the board saying, no, enough's enough. You're not spending any more than this. So fingers crossed we get all these boys in. I'm already looking at that thinking, do we need 5 midfielders? Yeah, we probably need 5 midfielders. And this is the team for the game against Farsley. All the midfielders are there looking at each other. There's 5 of us. You heard what he's up to. Watch your backs, boys. And we're going with Colin in goal. Evelyn will be delighted. A back 4 of Edwards, Dunn, Asare and Malden. Wooten and Boot in centre midfield. And with Clark, Carvalho and Patterson supporting Spasov up front. I am aware that there's a Sheriff fan club forming in the comments section. So just to let you know that I'm not ignoring his existence. As you can see, he is recovering from a slight injury. It's not a major injury, but he was playing a lot of games from the bench before then. But I genuinely can't play him today. I hear you. I know you want to see more of Dakari Sheriff, but he is injured. He's not fit to play today. So maybe, just maybe, we'll have him in the second game. It depends how Spasov gets on in this one. But as you can see, Spasov and Carvalho starting to form a little bit of a partnership as our front two now. So if they play well, if they continue to perform well, it does seem wrong to split them up. Although I guess Spasov's the one who's in here on loan, so it does make sense to maybe go with my own player. Although at this level, I know a lot of people say, Kev, back your own players, play your own players, develop your own players, that kind of thing. As far as I'm concerned, at this level, everyone's in on a 1-year contract, whether they're a 1-year permanent contract or a 1-year loan contract. Nobody's being sold on for big money out of a 1-year part-time contract. So there's no benefit to developing our own players to sell them on. We've got a penalty here, so I'll get back on my high horse in a second once we've hopefully gone 1-0 up in this tie. I think it said it's Clark to take. It is Clark to take. Put us 1-0 up, and he does. Kettering 1, Farsley 0. Excellent stuff. But yeah, as I was saying, there's nobody's being sold because they're only on 1-year contracts and they're on part-time contracts and they're on next to no money. So you might get 20 grand for someone who's really, really, really good, but it's not significant like building the club around money. So on that basis, if everyone's in for a year and nobody's getting sold on, it really doesn't make a difference whether a player is here permanently or in on a year-long loan. If anything, and we've seen this before in previous saves, some of the loan players are probably likely to be here longer than the majority of the theoretically permanent players who will come in, do their year, and then be released. And we have quite a high player churn as we move up through the leagues, whereas these young players who are coming in from bigger clubs, who are tend to be a little bit younger, much higher potential. Some of them can sometimes develop with us and maybe come up 1, 2, 3 leagues with us. So it's almost better to look to develop Spasov on the basis that he could be playing for us in League 2 in a few years' time. That's my thoughts on it. Anyway, I know some of you will feel very differently, but that's why I don't see it as a reason to prioritise Sheriff just because he's officially a Kettering player. Bottom line, both him and Spasov leave the club on the 30th of June unless I extend their deals, and that means to me there's no difference between the two of them. Right, Edwards on the left-hand side, cutting it all the way back to Wooten, who's in loads of space, plays it in beautifully for Patterson with a little touch on for Spasov, but he can't quite get on the end of it. Ends up back with Wooten again, who's just going to look to get this move up and running for us again. Wooten, ball over the top for Patterson again, who's got him behind. He's had to take it a little bit wide here, but does manage to get the crossover, and Carvalho's there. And it's a 5th goal of the season for him. Puts us 2-0 up, and we are looking to assert some control over this game early on as we get into the business end of this season. A couple of wins today, and we are going to be looking very, very good for promotion. Any more wobble, and we'll start to panic a little bit. But 2-0 up after 20 minutes, we've got to be feeling pretty good. Although Farsley, as you can see, are down in 18th place. So it's definitely a game we would have been expecting to win. But half an hour in, to have an XG of 2.64 against Farsley, have not had a shot, not had a single attempt. I think we probably should be feeling a little bit hard done by to only be 2-0 up based on how well we've dominated this game. Carvalho's picked up a knock, so we're going to take him off at half time. Malden with the free kick. I remember mocking him for not being able to take free kicks in an earlier episode of this series. But there he is, just sticking one into the top corner. But it's 3-0 up, right on the stroke of half time. It's not even the top corner, is it? Their keeper. I would be really disappointed if my keeper conceded a goal like that, because that does look like something their keeper should have covered. But he did not. Head into the dressing room. Oh, no, we're not pointing fingers. I want to outstretch my arms and say we're doing well, but it's not going to let me. I'll do that then. Don't need to talk about the media. Sorry, assistant manager man John. Right, Carvalho's going to come off for Jones, who's played in that attacking midfield position loads of times now, and hopefully can continue to deputise in there adequately while Carvalho nurses another injury. I mean, one way to potentially get Sheriff into the team, if Carvalho's properly injured again, we could always go to the 4-2-4 that we were planning on using at the start of the season anyway, and we only deviated from when we signed Carvalho, but we could quite easily go with Sheriff and Spasov, which we have done from the bench quite a few times recently, so it's definitely an option there for us. Spasov cuts it back to Patterson, who crosses to Clark, whose shot just goes straight into the Farsley defender, and it ends up back with Wooten again. And Wooten's been involved in absolutely everything today, having a very, very good game. Looks like a true deep-lying playmaker, the way he's just sitting in that pocket where Farsley don't really know what to do with him. The defenders aren't coming out to deal with him. The midfielders aren't getting close enough to do anything with him either. And he's just getting lots of time to just quarterback the game, which I'm happy to let him do that all day long. And they've missed a big chance there. Cross came over, free header. Some very suspect defending from us. But they've missed. Bless their cotton socks. They've missed. Right, fitness levels. People always say, Kev, you're not really looking at the fitness levels. My excuse is I'm red-green colourblind, so it's not as obvious to me when you see someone like Patterson. I need to get into the habit of really looking. These graphics don't stand out to me the way the numbers used to. Although for realism purposes, I think I am on board with the graphics rather than the numbers. I think it probably does make sense from a realism point of view to not know that a player is on 67% fitness, because you wouldn't know that in real life. But it is a little bit trickier for me to pick out. Right, we've got to shuffle this around because the two players who retired, I mean, they're in positions we don't really have anyone. I mean, Perry could play out there. He can play centre mid and right back. You're telling me someone who can play centre mid and right back can't play right wing? I find that very hard to believe. And at 3-0 up, I think I'm willing to experiment a little bit and get Perry out there on the right wing. I think he'll be fine. And we immediately concede a goal. This is going to be Football Manager now punishing me. Hey, this is the processor talking. Hey, wake up! Look, playing a player out of position. It's ruining him. Only a centre mid who can play right back playing at right wing. Is that really that bad? People do that in football all the time. Yeah, but this is Football Manager. You can't play out of position in this game. Very good point. Let's ruin him. Although, to be fair, we're on 3.67 on our XG. That is, XG-wise, probably the most dominant performance I've had with any team since we've had XG. So on FM21, we've finished on a 4.1 for XG compared to their 0.23. I think we've had a rather good game there. Now we can outstretch the arms, tell the boys they've done a good job, and hopefully check in on Chorley and see that they've lost. That's what we're hoping for. It's all I've wanted all day, Chorley to lose. They won 2-1. That cuts deep. Let's play another game. Well, all of these players have now confirmed to be joining us now, so let's just check in on the committed spending. No, they did include them before. Good. Let's hope they're not all rubbish. Hubert Grasik is an 18-year-old Polish goalkeeper who is at Arsenal. We've actually got his attributes now, so obviously just need a little bit longer to have the attributes to filter through. So let me know down in the comments what you think of these players. I'm not really an attribute guy, as you know. I'm much more of a star rating chap, but I know some of you love an attribute. So have a look at your attributes. Let me know what you think of these players. 6'4" goalkeeper, always good. A good threat from corners. Sean Stewart is an 18-year-old Northern Irish left-back who's at Norwich currently. He's going to be coming in the summer as well. They're all coming in the summer. Pascal Juan Estrada is a 19-year-old Austrian defensive midfielder who can also play centre mid or centre back. He is at Wolves at the moment. I don't really know how we're getting around the work permit rule for all these boys. Maybe we don't need work permits in non-league, which is an insane situation if that's the case. Zidane Iqbal is a 17-year-old Iraqi midfielder, a centre mid who can play anywhere across the attacking midfield 3 as well. He is off of Manchester United. Teddy Davy we'd already looked at, actually, hadn't we? Marco Russ is an 18-year-old Romanian attacking midfielder who can also play out on the right wing, and he is from Southampton. Max Robson, 18 years old, attacking mid, can also play either wing or in centre mid as well. He is from Tottenham. And then the last one is Terrell Whitaker, who's a striker who can also play out wide or attacking midfield. He's quick. He's a quick, good finisher. How can this go wrong with Terrell Whitaker? Hopefully going to go on to be a superstar for us. And he is also off of Spurs. So that is a big chunk of next summer's transfers already done. Let's hope we get promoted so we can afford to pay for them. This is the team that we're putting out there for the Hereford game, though. Just a couple of little tweaks. Senior coming in at the back, Dunn going out to left back. Perry is going to play in the attacking midfield role with Patterson on the left, Brandy on the right. As we just shuffle things around a little bit, we're getting ready to welcome Sheriff back into the side as well. But at the moment, he starts down on the bench, along with Clark, who, of course, was in the team for that last game. Let's jump into this one as well. Hereford are going to be slightly tougher opposition, I think. And we'll have a look at the league table in just a second. But let's pump the fists, do the media. The media are giving us lots of credit lately. So they should. We're awesome. We didn't get to see the league table, but Dunn's just done a really big throw straight into the hands of their goalkeeper. I don't really know why that's a highlight, because it was utterly pointless. But the highlight continues. So maybe I'm hoping we're counter-attacking back from their counter-attack, and it is with Brandy on this right-hand side, who is still at the moment our top scorer, although Spasov is catching him up, and Brandy playing it into Wooten, who's just slotting straight into the role he played in the last game as well, in that deep line playmaker role. Patterson, left wing this time rather than right in the last game, crosses to Spasov, who hits the top of the crossbar. And there we have the league table. Hereford in 6th place, very much in the playoff mix. We'll still be hoping for a push at the title, but it's obviously not going to go their way if this doesn't go their way today. And we've just won a penalty. No, who's number 8? Who is that? That is Boot going to be taking the penalty and misses it. Come on now. We can't be missing penalties. There seems to be a lot of penalty miss in FM21. I don't know if it's just that I'm getting the wrong players to take them, but I've noticed it in the Leicester save that James Maddison just seems to have missed like 3 or 4 penalties for me in this most recent season. Vardy missed a penalty for me. Didn't he miss one in the Europa League final? There's lots of missed penalties, and I find it very troubling. We have a corner coming in, though. It's Senior. Gets the header to it, and it's just gone over. I think there was a little bit of a suggestion of crossbar in there again, but it is still 0-0. We are dominant for XG again. A lot of that is going to be because of the penalty that we missed, but we need to go on and win this game because Chorley are breathing down our necks, and I don't like it. Why have I come here rather than going to the team talk? And there doesn't need to be any changes made there just yet. What I am going to do is point the finger and tell them we can still win this. I don't know if a pointed finger is the right thing to do when you're telling someone they're trying to build someone up. I'm building them up with my mouth and pushing them down again with my finger. That's Chapman management right there. We're looking at Sheriff thinking this 4-2-4 is starting to seem pretty tempting. Perry not really doing anything at all from the attacking midfield position. So probably does make sense to get the 2 strikers on, although Brandy's intercepted here and is charging forward. He has got Spasov there in the middle waiting for him. We've won another penalty. Change taker. How do we do? Where's the change taker button? Tell me, is that Boot again? No, it's Senior. Okay, it changed the taker for me. We've missed 2 penalties in one game. This is absurd. How'd you miss 2 penalties in one game? Oh, goodness me. Right. Sheriff on. And Edwards can come on. And Clark's going to come on. And we're going to get him in there as a poacher. And we're going to go attack him. I don't want to get silly because a draw is still okay looking at the league table, but we absolutely should be winning this game. I can't believe we've missed 2 penalties. That's ridiculous. I don't remember the last time that I had a game where I missed 2 penalties. Asari plays it forward to Sheriff. Little 1-2 with Spasov and Sheriff's in. And it's high and it's wide and it wasn't a goal. And I'm going to try and fire them up now. We tried demanding more. That didn't work. Let's try firing them up. I thought we were getting another penalty for a second there, but it's actually a corner. Edwards to take, so he's going to be looking for an in-swinger, looking for Spasov, who, again, I thought he was fouled. It's with Asari. Cross comes over to Sheriff, and it's blocked and goes out for a corner. There's 7 minutes left, and we have another corner, this time coming over from this left-hand side. Brandy with the in-swinger, Spasov with the worst header in the history of association football, and it's still 0-0. We're closing in on a 4 for XG again for this game. Difference being, we haven't scored. We've forgotten how to score goals. Brandy. I say we've forgotten. It's been a bit of an issue for us all season, scoring enough goals. Spasov now. what is he? Does he know what his role in this team is? Because he's now basically clearing it for Hereford. Don't be surprised to see him playing for them next year. I smell shenanigans. Malden, ball over the top to Sheriff, who must have been offside. I mean, he was so far offside. He was so offside, he could have looped back round and become onside again, I think. Let's just have a little look at it. I mean, there's three of them. There's three of them who don't understand the offside rule there. And this is where Hereford get their goal, and I just get really upset. I thought they had. I'd have been grumpy. I'm already not recovered from the real life football today. Don't be messing with me in Football Manager. Oh my word. Right, senior. This is really going to be our last roll of the dice, I think, this highlight. Spasov playing it over to Brandy, who has room to run into if he can get past this defender, which if he doesn't, what's the highlight for? Tell me it's not for a Hereford counter-attack goal in the 89th minute, because I just can't cope with it. Owen Edwards for them. To McQuilkin. Why have we got no players closing down any of theirs here? We're just letting them knock the ball around us as if we're not... We've given away a penalty. And a red card. Do you ever get the feeling it's not your day? Staggering what's gone on here. Oh. Is it a penalty? It wasn't even a penalty, so it was just a red card, not a penalty. I mean, I feel like the referee might have been just a touch against us there. To be fair, it's not even that. He's given a red card, but he has given us 2 penalties. It's not the referee, just the universe conspiring against us today. That was an upsetting football match. Let's check in on the league table again. Luckily, Chorley also drawing 0-0. So the situation at the top of the table hasn't changed. We're still 2 points clear of Chorley. We have now guaranteed our at least playoff finish for the season. And if we look at the schedule for the rest of the run-in, we do have a game with Chorley there. So I think that's probably where we're going to come back tomorrow. We'll do Chorley, Brackley, Bradford. We'll do a triple header to finish the season and hopefully win the title. Obviously, if we lose against Chorley and it becomes clear we're going to be in the playoffs, we might not show you the Bradford game. But hopefully it's a triple header ending with a title. Because otherwise I'll be really grumpy. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.